Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Longbox Crusade New Year's Eve countdown. Ooh, it's cold outside, but I'm about to go inside and join the party. We're going to start counting down the top 20 movies of the 1980s. And as usual, I'm going to give you the time stamp so you can sync this down to your midnight countdown no matter where you are. In just a few minutes, I am going to go into the LBC patented squeaky door. As soon as you hear that door stop squeaking, go ahead and pause this recording, and then you're going to want to unpause it when it is 11:04 and 24 seconds. Wherever you are, if you pause it at 11:04 and 24 seconds, it should sync up nicely to a midnight countdown at just the perfect time on the podcast. And we are just so happy to be part of your New Year's Eve celebration. I just can't wait to get inside and start talking movies with the fellas. So once again, as soon as you hear that squeaky door, finish its squeak, pause, and restart at 11:04 and 24 seconds wherever you are. All right, guys, I'm going to head in. There we are. Okay, welcome back to another. Can you believe another year has come and gone? We are here at LBC headquarters with another rockin' New Year's Eve party. Everybody's here. I saw like Joe November. He was out dancing on the floor with Mary Jane, and I think the MVP was dancing with him too. That Joe, you know that Joe. But hey, who else did we see at the party? I'm sitting here at the table with the core four. Let me introduce my co-hosts, and they can tell us who they've seen running around the party if they want. We will start with my usual co-host for all things New Year's. It is Pat Sampson, DJ Christados.
Hey, how's it going? Clinton. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you can take it up to Treetop Tommy. Yeah, take some of that Wookiee sausage up to him. He likes that stuff. Go ahead and take that up to him. It'll be good.
We actually let him out of the basement this year, huh?
I figured I'd let him, just give him some exercise climbing the pole up to by Treetop Tommy. Because Tommy's watching the parking lot because it's so busy in here now. This is how many years we've been doing it. Party just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm glad we got Tommy watching the parking lot, taking care of trafficking and all that.
Speaking of which, not a lot of people realize that out in the parking lot working valet parking, I think it was Alan Porter, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think Alan was helping us out a little bit with that.
It's a British guy. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to welcome a couple of the other guys to the New Year's Eve Countdown show. Let's start with my brother from my actual mother. It is Jason Albrecht, the Weasel Skull.
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. This is always a fun time. It gets a little crazy, though, so I've seen Mary Jane running around here. Now, we can't leave the punch unattended. You know what happened last, 4 New Year's parties. It's been a little bit rough.
Still can't get those stains out. Yeah.
Yep. Got to think of a better way for Treetop Tommy to guide traffic. I mean, he's way up there. It's really, really hard. I hear him yelling, but people can't hear the directions. So Alan is out there, earning his keep. Saw Darren and Ruth in the back room. They're looking dapper. Ruth is really calm. Hasn't hit anyone yet. So
nice.
Things are going well. I think we're going to have a good party this year.
That is an auspicious beginning. Delvin, the Dark Web Williams, welcome to your first ever New Year's Eve party with the crew.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me sit at this side of the table because I know all too well about Mary Jane spiking that punch because let's just say like the chocolate fountain just went everywhere last time and I don't really want to talk about it.
Still haven't gotten those stains out of the carpet either.
Oh my goodness. Well, it is almost, it is time to do a top 20 countdown. Let's get some more drinks. I think I saw Jim, the Joe Junkie. He was serving drinks, I think. Let me get my drink here. Thank you, Jim. Jim was out there doing stuff. All kinds of LB. I think I saw Rick. You remember that one guy who used to do the Sherlock Holmes show? Was it Lynn Hendricks? Something like that. He's here.
Wasn't it Quasar?
The Quasar guy. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Quasar, yeah.
Oh, man. Anybody is here. But Guys, let me tell you what we're counting down this year, and I'm so very excited because we've made a game out of it. Okay, this year's countdown is the top 20, and this might be the most challenging one we ever did. I thought the most challenging one we ever did might be when Jason was with us. We did top 20 toys, like of all time. That's a lot to pick from. But I summoned up all my courage, and I went to our social medias, and I said, hey, weigh in with your top 3. I told everybody out there in the world, top 3 movies from the 1980s. And that is a bevy of wonderful things to choose from. Some people, I'm not naming any names, but it was Kathy, was so upset about, like, I can't just pick 3 that she got like analysis paralysis and never did send a response. Her only response was, I can't do it. But as usual, what I did is I took the multitude of responses that we got, and I didn't do like a pecking order. Like if people numbered them 1, 2, 3, I didn't assign any weight to them. I just looked and see how many times was each movie mentioned in the replies. So basically, if you mentioned it in your top 3, it got a point. They all got a point. And I just added up how many times they got mentioned, and I got this top 20 list. And I got to tell you guys, it's a pretty good cross-section of 80s movies. It really is. Like, so, I think if any other network did this, the results would be different. If anybody else, you never know. But I think we have a really nice cross-section. So we're going to be counting down the top 20 movies of the 1980s.
So Jared, what you're telling me is you added it up and you kind of seen what you got.
I did.
Add it up.
That's an 80s song. You got to add it.
Yes, I did. So let's find out what our listeners, our friends, our social media folks, and guys, as usual, I got a lot of responses. It was a lot of math involved in this. I believe at some point someone's going to accuse me of shenanigans, but I swear to God, this is all on the up and up. And like I said, we've turned it into a game. So what we're going to do for this evening's entertainment is I will say, hey, we're starting at number 20, and then I'm going to play an audio clip from that movie. The fellas, Pat, Jason, Delvin, are going to text me what movie they think it's from. And we're going to find out who gets the most right answers here between Pat and Jason. All right. Delvin has been on multiple occasions. He's only seen 8 movies in his whole life. So we kind of counted it. But Delvin's a crafty guy. And he knows a lot about context. So I'm not 100% going to count him out. But so, gentlemen, get your phones ready because we're about to start the countdown. All right, guys. Coming in at number 20.
Iron Maiden? Excellent! Execute them. Bogus.
I think I got this one.
Let's find out. Jared's going to his phone. I'm going to need more details on your answer, Delvin. 1 or 2. 1 or 2, Delvin. And I'll give you a hint, a really big hint to help you out, because Pat got all those hints in James Bond. Only one of those was released in the 80s.
Wait a minute.
Oh, he got it. He already said it. He didn't even need the hint. He already sent it.
Bogus. That's bogus.
The bogus journey. That's a bogus journey right there.
No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody got it. And we will go around the horn. Delvin, you got a correct response. So tell the listeners what this movie is.
Pop culture. Pop culture is what got me that one. Like, I never watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but of course I knew it was a thing.
Hey, you got one.
I got one, right?
Oh, Delvin never watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Did not.
Oh, man. That's such a classic. Such a classic. I really like that.
Is.
San Dimas High School rules.
You know, my next door neighbor, his name is Sandy, and I call him San Dimas all the time. And I know, like, I'm the only one that gets the reference.
I do now. I get it.
Well done, everybody. Everybody got it. And so we have a tie game.
One more thing on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The soundtrack is really good, too. Got a really great soundtrack. You know, soundtrack movies from the 80s, it's got a really great soundtrack to Bill and Ted's Excellent
Absolutely.
Adventure.
God gave rock and roll to you. I think that's by Kiss. And Bill and Ted in the movie. All right, guys, let's move into number 19. Get those phones ready. Here we go, number 19.
You think your name's gonna be on that plaque?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty arrogant, considering the company you're in.
Yes, sir.
I like that in a pilot.
All right, you folks at home, how are you playing along? You guys going to be 2 for 2? I'll tell you this much. Jason, the Weasel Skull Albrecht's going to be 2 for 2. Pat Sampson's typo, I'm going to still let it be 2 for 2. He typed 2 fun gun, but I think he meant to type the correct answer.
2 fun gun.
That was a porno.
And Delvin the Dark Web Williams is also 2 for 2. Jason, go ahead and do the official reveal on 2 fun gun.
Oh man, 2 Fun Gun. Look, I was in 10th grade, I think, when 2 Fun Gun came out. It made me want to become a fighter pilot, and then I realized you need a couple things. You need good eyesight and good reflexes, so I became an intelligence analyst instead.
Oh, okay. So, yes, the movie is Top Gun, came in at number 19. Jason's right, though. They made everybody want to be a fighter pilot. I think recruiting numbers in the Navy and Air Force skyrocketed. No pun intended. Skyrocketed. And I just the other day, like a week ago, found the CD soundtrack at a yard sale. So
Again,
Pat, yes.
I think this movie just wanted me to, play with the boys. Just wanted to play with the boys, and that's what we're doing with the podcast.
I will say it's one of the few Nintendo games that you had that I actually played and finished.
Oh, yeah. You could actually beat the mission to the space shuttle, I think it was at the end. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. I think what we're going to do come next Heroes Con is we're going to get a volleyball tournament going with all the other podcasters out there. It'll be, different podcast
You just want to take your shirt off again, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
All right, let me get us back on track. So that was number 19 was Top Gun. Now, all right, folks at home, if you're playing along, let's see how you're going to do as we move into number 18.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Oh man, I'm getting some looks. I can't wait to see what Pat's typo is. I should have made this harder. Everybody here is 3 for 3.
Wow.
Delvin, Jason, Pat, you're all 3 for 3. I really thought this was where we were going to start separating, but Pat, talk about it. Tell everybody what the movie is and give any thoughts you have.
Well, Jared, the movie is weird science. Bits and pieces. Weird. Chet. I love Chet. There's a good one in there. Oh, man. Weird
Rest
science.
in peace, Bill Paxton. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I almost picked the Chet quote, but I was like, I feel like that's too easy. So I did.
No, you picked the right one. And, man, this was at the age little boy was becoming a man and, sitting there in the movie theaters. Oh, Weird Science. Just a fun movie. Man, I love the 80s.
Yeah, early Robert Downey Jr. Pat, did Oingo Boingo sing the theme song?
Or Oingo Boingo was the song.
And the lead singer for that is Danny Elfman.
He is,
composer.
Yes. And I wonder what he's done lately.
Did not know that. Know that.
Yeah. So, Delvin got Weird Science, or we have to take a moment to see that.
No, I'm just like, can you see my phone?
Look, I will admit that clearly my phone is a little bit dirty because I pulled it out of my.
Well, you're killing it, man.
I heard the quote. I'm like, I'm putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like, okay, weird lady's voice. Weird Science. Like,
This is
my nonsensical trivia brain, dude. I'm telling you.
It's like we handed the controls to like a Concorde jet airliner and Delvin in mid-flight, and he's making it happen.
No, it's like I figured Delvin would, is gonna have just his knowledge of everything that he has.
He's a smart guy,
but he's never seen it. Oh man!
Tell you what, he's gonna say that for a lot of
these movies. We're not digging through these movies.
Bits and pieces. Like I'm pretty sure Weird Science made it to like USA Network at one point.
Oh yeah,
certainly must have.
Yeah, bits and pieces.
All right, folks at home, we're gonna move into number 17. 17th top movie of the 1980s, according to our social media followers, listeners, and friends, and all that stuff, is. Let's listen to the sound clip.
I want money. What kind of terrorist are you? Who said we were terrorists?
I like how I can literally see Jason typing his answer before halfway through the first clip. By the way, Jason was typing his answer. Oh, I just await Pat.
I'm still thinking, boy.
I look forward to your typos on these, but
I'll just have to pick this one, but I'm probably not right.
Okay, we do have a bit of separation. Pat got it right.
What?
Jason got it right. Delvin has his first miss.
Son of a bitch.
And a miss. And it's Delvin's turn to talk about it. So, Delvin, I will reveal to you that the movie is Die Hard.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
I'm just as confused as you. I was like, well, it's got to be 80s, and I got to have this.
I would have sworn that I heard Sean Connery's voice. Like, it sounded like Sean Connery to me.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh.
The first guy was, Jason, help me out here. Holly's boss.
You want money? Mr. Nataki.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Asian.
Nakatomi?
Yeah, Nakatomi Towers.
Nakatomi Plaza, yeah.
And the guy who responded was, of course, Alan Rickman from City Terrorists. So, again, I was like, I skipped over a lot of Bruce Willis quotes. I was like, I made it a little tougher. Some of these I made easier, some tougher, and this one was a little tough. So, yep, coming in at number 17 was Die Hard. And you know what, guys? You got a top 20 list, and Die Hard is at 17. We got some good movies coming up.
Got some stuff. Where's Crawl coming in?
The Glaive! All right, guys, let's move on to number 16.
Where's the playground?
It's near the baseball.
Where's that?
I don't know. Streets. Mom always drives me.
Quizzical looks. Jason started answering it early, too, again, so let's see.
I'm not sure on this one. I just took a guess.
Yes, you are sure, by the way. You got it right.
What'd you put down, Jason?
You almost hooked me, too. That's
Yeah, Jason
really
pulled it, too.
He's like, that boastful son of a bitch will give up his...
Oh, boy.
We await Pat's entry.
I don't know.
Pat, your oh boys, I don't know, seem to be correct an awful lot.
Oh, really?
Yes, Jason and Pat got it. Delvin unfortunately got left behind. It was a good guess. Delvin guessed Adventures of Babysitting, which is a good movie.
But that's a good movie.
To talk. So, Jason, you want to reveal what it is and any thoughts you have on it?
Yeah, the movie is E.T. or E.T. the Extraterrestrial and His Adventures on Earth, as it was known, also commonly known as the greatest Disney movie Disney never made. Home run for Spielberg. I remember I've only really seen it one time as a kid in the theaters. It's not one I've gone back to rewatch. Don't have anything against it, don't know why, but it sure did leave an impact on me as a young boy watching that film. I mean, the I'll be right here, man, had me crying and in tears and stuff like that. It's a good movie. Really good movie.
Absolutely. You'll be able to tell if you got the edited version, the newly edited version, or not if you watch it again. In the old movie, the FBI agents all have shotguns, and in the new one, they've replaced them with walkie-talkies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. True story. Yes. Yep. They digitally replaced the shotguns with walkie-talkies.
Don't move or I'm going to snitch on you.
I'll call someone. I swear to God I will.
What gave it away for me, to at least put down my guess of E.T., was the music in the background.
Me too. Yeah.
I was
same.
like, oh, that sounds like it's got a little bit of E.T. in it. So I had to put that down. But, I've seen this movie a couple different times. Watched it with my kids as well, too. And, this is what brought my love for Reese's Pieces.
All right. We have a tie going on here between Jason and Pat. And Delvin's not far behind. He's only 2 points behind. So we'll see what happens.
That's so nice of you to say, Jerry.
I know. We're going to keep everything upbeat here in the first.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Let's get into number 15 on the countdown. We're cracking the top 15. Let's give a listen.
Open. Damn it, open!
The smugness. I await the answers.
Ooh, I'm at total.
Let's see. I'm
out.
Jason guessed the Riddler.
Yep.
Just put question marks. Delvin's mounting his comeback. Pat, set a damn answer.
I can't. I don't.
Pat, there's no money on it. Just put an answer. If he oohs into another right answer,
no, I
have to.
I'm just gonna say I don't know. I have no answer.
No answer. Well, Delvin is going to gain a little ground here. Is the only one that got it right, and that should be a clue to you guys what movie this is.
The Transformers.
man. Oh, yeah, that should have been a big clue. Holy cow.
So you see, Jason and Pat, Ultra Magnus was trying to open the Matrix because he thought it was the time of need, but it was not the time of need. And then he blew up shortly afterwards.
Ultra Magnus, as voiced by Robert Stack, one of my very favorites. Pat, it's technically your turn to talk about it. So if you have any final thoughts, I'll move on.
You know, I've probably seen this in the theater, but I've only seen it once, and I hate that, you know, I'm losing my Transformer cred, but I think I've been waiting to watch the movie.
I don't know, man. Seeing it on the big screen is a lot of cred, because I would have loved to have seen it on the big screen.
Back then.
I didn't initially see it on the big screen. I initially saw it like, you know, video. I'm thinking, still shocked me. No, Optimus died. Ow.
Hey, it's the movie The Save Duke. So, you know. All right, guys, that's top 15. We've cracked into it with the Transformers. Let's find out, now that Delvin's only 1 point behind, what number 14 is.
A, you can never go too far. B, if I'm going to get busted, it is not going to be by a guy like that.
3 for 3, gentlemen, and it is Delvin's turn to talk, because, yeah, you got it right, Delvin. Talk about it.
Oh my goodness!
I was like, Delvin ain't ever getting this one.
Flying by the seat of my doggone pants. Like, I have seen Ferris Bueller because, again, that's one. They're 80s movies, and we're 80s kids, right? Man, the advantage that we have that these later generations will not have is that we all watch the same-ish. All of us. The same movies, the same TV shows. We all watch them. And so
at the same time.
At the same time. So that's how I know, like, you know, like I can't even remember how I watched Ferris Bueller. I know I didn't go to the theater to watch it, so I had to just watch it on, you know, VHS, like the vast majority of people did. And so it was a fantastic, fun movie. Didn't they try and replicate it? Didn't they do a remake? Or talked about doing a remake.
There was a TV show, a short-lived TV show that kind of went up against Parker Lewis Can't Lose, which is clearly a riff on, but Parker Lewis was the more popular show.
Yeah. And so it's easy to see why they would want to replicate it, because you talk about just classic 80s, right? That kid, you know, thumbing his nose up at authority. I can go on, but Ferris Bueller was a really fun movie.
Absolutely.
I just love the music in this one, and what vividly sticks in my mind is when he's singing in Chicago, and he's singing, you know, "Shake It Up, Baby" now, from the Beatles version. Just, oh man, loved it.
Oh, so good. There's like a 1-2 with Twist and Shout and Donkashane, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
I think it's Donkashane and then Twist and Shout.
And then
You know what? We don't have
Twist
to quote the movie. It is coming in at number 14. That is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Guys, he's a righteous dude.
He is a righteous. I almost used that as the quote for the movie, but I thought that was a little bit easier. I honestly can't remember what quote I pulled for number 13, but you know what? Let's listen to it together.
Your overconfidence is your weakness.
Your faith in your friends is yours.
What could it be? There's a question. Questions. All I have is questions. I believe it's Jason's turn to talk, and it's another 3 for 3. Good job, gentlemen. Jason, name that movie and give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if all three of us didn't get this one. It's Return of the Jedi. You could really tell with the Darth Vader breathing in the background and everything, and the Emperor, so you know it's the third one. Jedi, the final and the great original trilogy. I loved it. I even love the Ewoks. I don't care. I love the Battle of Endor. Han Solo is just baller in this movie. Princess Leia, you know, they talk about the heroic woman. Leia was the original bad A, man. She didn't take crap from anybody in all three movies. What a great ending to a magnificent trilogy.
We all know we're not moving on before Pat says something.
No, I got nothing to say.
What the what? Well, fine then. Let's move on to number 12. And just a reminder to everybody, the scores are tight. Jason and Pat are tied for first, and Delvin is 1 point behind.
I am very proud.
I'm proud of you. I'm interested to see what's going to happen on number 12.
I'm proud of you too.
I am too.
We'll see. We'll see.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
Short and simple. How you doing, folks at home? How's your score holding up on this? Okay. We have but one correct answer, and it is Jason the Weasel Skull Albrecht, which is fairly appropriate. So I'm gonna have to, Jason, you're gonna have to tell people. Jason is gonna have to tell people what the movie is, and Pat can talk about it.
Voorhees. I'm sorry, I thought that was a good.
It was good. It was good. Tell everybody what the movie is.
Friday the 13th. I wasn't really certain on this one because I'm not a big horror guy, but I watched this one fairly recently. Jared, I think you might have sent me a copy of it or something, and I was like, it's a classic. I know there's like 80 films in the franchise, but I'd never seen the first one. So, I watched it, and I was like, it sounds kind of like that Friday the 13th, so I guessed it. And I didn't even realize he doesn't wear a hockey mask until later.
Third movie, he wears a hockey mask. He's not even the killer in the first movie.
Right.
And it's got Kevin Bacon. Pat, it's technically your turn to talk about it.
And
Have you
boobies.
seen Friday the 13th?
It's got Kevin Bacon and boobies.
It does.
Kevin Bacon's boobies?
It's two separate things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he wasn't really working out very well. So.
His moobs? That's what I got right now. Anyway, nobody wants to see that, but who knows? It's still New Year's Eve. What happens at the LBC New Year's Eve party stays at the LBC New Year's party. So, anyway, Friday the 13th. I'm not a real big horror movie watcher, so this one was a stumper. I think I sent Children of the Corn just because
that was your guess.
I was thinking of some, an 80s and the mommies and just whatever, but I don't even know I think if I watched this, it would have been maybe at a time in high school where we're at somebody's house and you had a bunch of kids over at a house somewhere and it was maybe playing around in the background, but I think I was busy, reading some books or something while everybody was watching the movie. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I was wondering about. That's why I had the little. I was like, I wonder how this is going to play out because it's a horror film and it's not everybody's cup. But my brother, the Weasel Skull, pulls it out. He has a 1-point lead over Pat, who has a 1-point lead over Delvin. It's very tight, very, very tight. Let's go to number 11 on the countdown. Let's give a listen to this audio clue.
It says 100% guaranteed, you moron. Mister, if you don't shut up, I'm going to kick 100% of your ass.
Don't feel too bad, Delvin. I've only seen it once, and it was later in life. It was after college. Pat's got all the confidence in the world. He's sitting there nodding.
You get it. You bet. I've seen this one lots of times.
All right, all the votes are in. Pat had all the confidence in the world, and he had it right. Jason guessed his ass off and got it right. Unfortunately, Delvin did not. So, Pat, tell Delvin what the movie is since you have the confidence in the world, and see if he's got... You interview Delvin now. I'm going to step out.
Okay. Well, I shall sell no fries until it's time. Hola, Mr. Hand. It is Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Okay. Heard of the movie, obviously, but did not watch it. So, okay. I don't feel bad. I will always feel bad if it's a movie that I've watched where I've seen clips of it over and over again. And I'm sure I've seen clips of Fast Times at Ridgemont High and heard a lot about it, but it didn't pass me by on watching it.
Yeah, we all know you watch clips of Phoebe Cates. Yeah, it had a young Sean Penn, a young Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah. A lot
Judge Reinhold, clearly. He was in the quote. But don't feel bad, Del. I didn't see it till a few years ago, Delvin. So, yeah, we were both late to that party. All right, it's time to crack the top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to crack the top 10. Let's see how you guys do on this one. I'll stop chattering and start playing an audio clip.
Get to the chopper!
Like I'm handing out candy at this point. Everybody quotes it. The real question is, do you remember where it came from? Do you remember where it came from? Let's see. Waiting on Pat's final entry. And it looks like, much like Pepperidge Farms, all three of you remember, and all three of you got it correct. And it's Jason's go. So tell everybody what number 10 was, Jason.
Oh, Predator, man. That's my favorite of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger versus aliens. But before he goes into the main course of dining on the Predator, he gets the hors d'oeuvres of that little guerrilla unit out there in the camp, and they break those pain so bad. He was like, and stick around. It's a great movie.
I don't know why I bothered to go get clips because he said Jason.
I was very entertained.
He does this a lot on Action Film Facebook. Yeah, well, there's your top 10. Coming in at number 10 is The Predator. And I was wondering about that because I was like, everybody quotes "get to the chopper," but do you really remember which movie it was? And look at you guys showing out. All right, let's continue our journey into the top 10 with number 9. Number 9, guys, let's give it a listen.
As my plastic surgeon always said, if you gotta go with the slum.
No surprise here. This took no time at all. 3 for 3. Everybody got it. It's Pat's Go.
Oh, man. This is the one, the big one from 1989. It is Batman. And if you're going to go with a smile. Go with a smile. Batman.
We cannot impress upon the youth. We cannot impress upon the youth what an event the summer of 1989 in Batman was.
Oh, it was bat fever everywhere. I remember. I've seen this in the theater so many different times that summer. Oh man, just what a great time to be around. And we would cruise the park we would have, and you would just see people in Batman t-shirts just cruising and just Batman song playing on the radio. It's just fun times.
I have no idea how my dad got them, but he sold Batman medallions.
Oh yeah, you told me that before. Like it was like a side hustle he was rocking.
Yeah. Like, I would wear it because that thing was cool.
If he still has one, man, you need to hook me up.
Oh
man,
yeah.
I wish, man. Like once I left this house, I don't know what the heck happened to all that stuff. So like, man, but if I did,
man, I'm gonna write a letter to Cleophas Williams, like Stan in that Eminem song. I know you got those medallions with the bat emblems on it.
I know you got my last 2 letters. I wrote the letters. The address perfect.
Oh man, it's funny to think that this medallion that his dad was doing a side hustle, he's probably selling them for $5 or $10, and like they're probably worth $20 or $25. Like they've probably gone up in value because people want them. That's really cool. Yeah, I'll talk about Batman '89 all night. Although Pat, I've never seen it on the big screen, as we all learned from my Batman nostalgia.
Oh yeah, that's
talk.
right. Yeah.
I need to catch somebody somewhere has got to be doing a revival screening of that. I got to catch that.
Oh, when it comes its anniversary that it's going to be there. It's just give it a few more years.
This will be one of its because it was '89, so this is something that ends in 5 year anniversary for it. Delvin probably knows the math. It's not actually 35. Yeah, 35th anniversary. Somebody somewhere's playing it this summer.
So 5 more years. 5 more years, it'll be there. 5 more years.
Because I caught the Pee-wee's Big Adventure 35th anniversary viewing, so maybe they'll do a Batman.
Well, maybe they will.
Anyways, let's get back to the show, guys. We are going to hit up number 8. Let's find out who's sitting in the number 8 spot of the top 20 movies in the 1980s, according to our listeners and friends.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
That almost had a beat to that.
Yeah, Joe November.
Alive, you're coming with me. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Beats are fresh.
Snap. As I would hope, we have another 3 for 3 on that one, and I think it's Delvin's Chatterbox.
Yeah. There we go.
Yes. Number 8 is RoboCop, as Delvin does his RoboCop impression for all of us. Any thoughts, Delvin? Did you?
Yeah,
that's another sort of we all were in the 80s type of movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I just remember how freaking hyper violent it was. It was like that last spike was like, oh my god. Like a spike through the head, right?
And that big old blob of blood splatter.
I remember going to see that at the theater, and I honestly believe like there were parents that thought, RoboCop, it kind of has like a kid's movie title, and then there were a lot of kids in that theater, as I recall, and a lot of moms like, what the heck did I just do?
Yeah, fast forward about 15, 20 years later, in a psychiatrist's office. How did you get your PTSD, Tommy? I thought it was the kid's movie and he killed that man. Yeah.
I saw a funny meme on the social medias recently, and it said how you probably learned about death, and it showed Simba, from Lion King, and the dad. It's such a sad scene. It said how I learned about it in the 80s, and it showed Murphy getting blown away by those guys. I was like, yeah, generational differences.
Yeah, he went out bad to become RoboCop too. It's like, oh my god,
All right, by the way, I voted in my own damn poll, and RoboCop was in my top 3. I picked it as one of my top 3.
Wins Ghostbusters.
Don't call shenanigans when it shows up. That's all I'm saying. All right, so there we have number 8 was RoboCop. Let's move into number 7. I'm particularly proud of the sound clip I picked for number 7. This is a real Men from the Boys sound clip on this one, because all I picked was a sound effect. You either know the sound effect or you don't. Let's give it a listen. Jason typed it with such quickness, it was ridiculous. Yes, Jason's got it. And we just wait the other 2. I knew this was going to be a ball buster. I knew it was going to be hard. I was like, I need to throw this as the one.
That's as good as a quote for me, right? As good as any line in the movie.
Oh, Delvin had a good guess, but you're not correct. But that's not a bad guess.
I don't know, boy.
We're doing the Pat thing. Everybody stare at Pat.
I'm going to say I don't know. Just
don't even want to throw something out there?
No.
Okay. Jason gets the solo point, and he gets to reveal to our audience what the movie is and his thoughts.
Aliens, one of my top favorite action horror films of all time, man. It's just a perfect blend of action and horror. Characters are just great. I mean, it's probably one of the most realistic military movies that I've ever seen. Yeah, James Cameron was at his peak with this one. And, oh, man, Ellen Ripley.
Forever.
Aliens.
Yes, that sound clip was the sound of the rifles that the Marines used, the machine gun rifles.
I'm upset. I wish I would have gotten that because, I've seen Aliens in the last few years, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was a fantastic movie. So I hate that I didn't grow up watching it because I know, in general, I don't like horror movies, even though this is more sci-fi horror, and it was fantastic, and I would watch it again and again. But I hate that I missed that. I really do.
Yeah, and this was one that I don't think I've seen it in the theaters, or I think I've seen like a bit in the pieces of it when it was on HBO or whatever, and that's why the sound, I didn't know it.
Well, you're kicked off the show, Pat. We'll see you next New Year's.
Yep.
Take it easy.
All right, guys. See you later.
I just want to tag on. We're going to make this show too long. I don't care. I want to tag on about Aliens because I get on the soapbox from time to time. And Jason said something that made me think. He said, it's a really realistic military movie. Being a former officer and having been a lieutenant myself, I'm so tired of the trope in movies of how lieutenants get treated. They're incompetent. They're stupid. They're overly cocky. And this lieutenant in this movie, I like this guy. He has a little bit of a turn factor, but he went out like a boss with no fear, with,
going back for his troop.
Going back for his troop, wrapping up his troop as if to protect her. We all knew,
he could have left her. And
I was like, thank you, James Cameron, for making the lieutenant look decent in the movie.
Yeah, he definitely had a great redemption there at the end.
I like it. So anyway, Aliens is just fan-freaking-tastic. Guys, let's move into number 6, and then we can crack the top 5. Let's listen to number 6.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
A lot of quizzical looks on this one. Everybody's got that "it's paining me in my brain" look on their faces.
I just threw a guess.
So did Delvin. While I wait, Pat's.
Can I verbally say it?
Go ahead. Yeah.
St. Elmo's Fire.
You're the closest of all 3. So we have a 0-4-3 on this one, folks, and that's okay. I wonder if you listeners at home got this one. We'd love to hear from you. Sound off in any of our social medias and let us know, hey, I got number 6 and none of y'all did. Because the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, you knew there was going to be a John Hughes movie on here somewhere. This is the Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club.
That's what I was thinking too, but I said St. Elmo's.
Yeah, I said you were the closest one.
I threw in Better Off Dead. I don't know if that was John.
Yeah, you're in the neighborhood. Yeah,
but I was thinking that. Yeah,
Delvin guessed Rain Man, which not hugely far off either. All good guesses, but Breakfast Club is correct. And that's one of those movies that I didn't even watch.
So we do have some female listeners.
I was about to say, don't feel this is a girl movie, but I know there's plenty of guys that like Breakfast. But I think it's one of those movies you have to watch in the moment. I've talked about this before. Watching it for the first time as a 40-year-old man, I was totally like on the side of the vice principal who we just heard from in the clip. I was like, these kids are annoying. I missed the teenage window when you're supposed to watch it. But hey, I guess the real question here is, Jason, I feel like of all of us, maybe you caught it in the 80s in the proper time.
I did watch it in the 80s when I was in high school, and I haven't watched it in a long time, but I remember it being a good movie, even though I was kind of making fun of it, calling it a chick flick. I think it was really a coming of age story, and it's very much a Gen X story. It's a bunch of latchkey kids that are getting passed off to home detention and basically just left alone for the most part. And then they're in their own worlds and very different worlds. For that one kind of sort of magical day, they learn to understand each other a little bit. It's funny and it's poignant and has a pretty good soundtrack there too. So,
oh yeah.
I did catch it back in the day, not in the theaters, but on the HBO, the Showtime, different one of those channels. And yeah, I agree with Jason. It was one of those good ones.
Delvin, have you ever seen it? I'm telling you, if you watch it now, you're going to be on the side of the vice principal. You shut up, kids.
Is that the one that had the song "Don't
Make Me Come In"?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, you call my name.
What a good song. Okay, guys, we're about to crack the top 5 and just check on the scoring. I don't know how you folks at home are doing. I hope you're doing good. Delvin has 9 points. Pat has 11, and Jason has 13. So we've got a little bit of a thing. Let's see if we can't balance this out, or Jason's going to run away with it when we hit these top 5. And look at these movies.
I don't know. Having a 2-point lead is really running away.
Hey, with this movie lineup, I have all the comments in the world on you, Jason. But let's go ahead and get to number 5.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one.
All right. Well, let's see. We have an interesting scenario here. Jason got it right. Pat?
Oh, no. You know what? The one before that movie.
Yes.
The one before that movie.
I'm going to give you a half a point.
I said Search for Spock.
Delvin did not get it. The answer is Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
How did he get a half a point? It's a wrong movie.
Come on, it was Star Trek.
But I do believe that quote pops up in Star Trek 3.
It does.
When they're remembering at the beginning.
Yes.
I think it does.
It does. But that was that scene. I knew what scene. I had the scene. Jerry.
You got the full point, Jason. You don't have to argue. You got it.
You're gonna win. Calm your boobies over there. You know you're gonna win.
Jason's getting competitive. It's all right.
I actually don't know if I've seen Star Trek 2. I know I've watched all the new ones, but I don't know if I watched any of the old ones. Given the classic, Khan and all that, it feels like I have, but I know that I haven't. And that's surprising because I bet that I would enjoy them because I know I enjoyed the newer ones. The characters, again, at this point, us being the 80s kids that we are, they're so ubiquitous. Like, I know all of those characters, all of them. So at this point, going back to watch the movies, it would just be like watching old friends. So it would be fun to go back and watch them.
Highly recommend, Delvin. And then I don't think it's terribly controversial to say that I think Part 2, Wrath of Khan, is the best of the original movies. Although I have a big place in my heart for Part 6.
I like, is it 5? Which one's the Undiscovered Country?
6.
6, yeah. That was good.
5 is Final Frontier.
It's nobody's favorite, but that's all right.
Yeah, okay, then it's 6. I like.
But yeah, I just watched a retrospective on the original Star Trek movies today on YouTube. This guy put together a pretty good one about how it was kind of a soft reboot of the TV show. He kind of made his case for that, and I was like, yeah, I can see it. And anyways, Yeah, we all knew a Star Trek movie was going to show up on this list somewhere, and 2, I think, especially according to our voting, is the best of them all because it comes in at number 5. So, spoiler alert, there's no more Star Trek movies on the list. Okay, we got 4 more to go.
Yeah, there's only one that deserves to be in the top 5. I mean, to me, Star Trek 2 is like one of the best movies like ever. You know, laugh all you want at William Shatner's overacting, and God knows he does it, but boy, that scene at the funeral, oh man,
nails it. Oh, cry every time. Yeah, if you don't want to cry, Delvin, then don't watch part 2. It's a tear jerker.
Gotcha.
All right, number 4. Let's get into number 4.
Who's president of the United States in 1985?
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan, the actor?
I better get a 3 for 3 on this, people. And I did. We have a very solid 3 for 3. I love it. It is Jason's go. Jason, name that movie.
That is Back to the Future, man. That's where Michael J. Fox left. What was he on? What was his Family Ties? He left Family Ties and to make his mark in the big screen, and boy, did he nail it out of the park as Marty McFly in Back to the Future. We had time travel, we had adventure, we had good versus evil, and we had the immortal Doc Brown. What a great film.
No kidding. So weird to think Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, I was just going to say. Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
They filmed like a little, some of it, and then like,
Yeah, it just wasn't working. And like like Jason said, Michael J. Fox was working Family Ties. He was working this, and they started shooting Teen Wolf as well at the same time.
Oh, really?
He was crazy busy at this point.
I do love me some Eric Stoltz in Some Kind of Wonderful. That's my jam.
I still think Eric Stoltz's version would be great, but I could understand why Michael J. Fox should have just a little bit more of a zip to him.
I mean, it's kind of like the Tom Selleck almost getting Indiana Jones role. You know, it's like, I love Tom Selleck. Eric Stoltz is great. I just I couldn't see anybody other than Michael J. Fox in that role.
Oh, an additional fun fact for those of you who didn't know this, I think it's starting to become more common knowledge about Eric Stoltz, but like, I've even been told that in some of the shots that are where you don't see Marty's face, like over the shoulder, like some of those are still Stoltz's shoulder.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyways, guys, let's get into the top 3. These are the big boys. These are the heavyweights. Let's find out who came in at number 3.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Clean sweep, 3 for 3. I feel like as we get higher on this list, it's going to keep happening. Name that movie, Pat.
It is going to be Star Wars Episode 5, titled The Empire Strikes Back. Let's just Empire Strikes Back. Everybody knows it as that. Oh, man. I've seen this one in the theater as well. What a great time to be a kid. Oh, just the doominess of it all, I guess. I want to say doominess, but this was one that, this is the, dare I say, the better of the 3. This is the one that had the heart and the, just pulled you in and kept you going. You're like, oh, no, what's going to happen?
Yeah, what a sequel, man. What a sequel. The sequel to a movie that was huge. And then, I agree. I'm going to be lame. Like, the most common, again, our list reflects it. This is the best of them all, in my opinion. That's the easy answer, and Jason's agreeing as well. So, coming up is number 2. Number 3 was The Empire Strikes Back. Pat, did you have additional?
Just the additional thing with Empire Strikes Back is the memory that always comes in my mind when I think of Empire Strikes Back is, as a kid, I think I was either sick that day, but I do remember either getting up early just because I knew, like, on one of the early morning talk shows, the Good Morning America or whatever, they were going to do an extended trailer or extended thing of Empire Strikes Back. And I remember seeing it, and the scene was Han landing on Cloud City, and you get, Lando and all and Leia and them all kind of out meeting. And just vividly in my mind, waiting to watch that. A kid just wanting to see more Star Wars.
Yeah, because up to that point, you had the original movie, some comics, and the holiday special. Which Delvin has.
Well, they used to do all the, Hostess cupcakes or something that you could cut off the cards on the back of the cardboard box, and they'd have all this material, and I swear to God, if they wrapped up bags of dog poop and threw a Star Wars coin in it, I would buy it. I mean,
dig through the swamp mud.
Well, once we get to the poop talk, it's time to move on. All right, guys, let's get into number 2. Almost cracked the number 1 spot. I bet some of you could type it in and guess right now. But you know what? Let's just give it a listen.
No time to argue. Throw me the idol. I throw you the whip.
I will be typing in the original name.
I'm looking at Delvin for some more specificity. I know that you know.
I'd actually typed it in already, but that's why I asked you, is there only one left? I knew I was going to.
Delvin, I'm still going to count it even though you got it wrong.
I did? Damn it. You count it off. I don't care.
It doesn't matter. Jason's going to win anyway. So, all right. So, I'm still giving He typed Indiana Jones and said, be more specific. He wrote Temple of Doom. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's the first one.
The first one. The first one is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
But this is funny because you long admitted.
Yeah.
Is that still true that you've never seen any of them?
Man, we were at the in-laws, Miranda and I, for Christmas or Thanksgiving, one of them. And I think they were playing, I don't know whether it was Raiders of the Lost Ark or Temple of the Doom. You know, out of keeping the bit going, I refused to fully pay attention to it. I sat in the other room and was like messing around on my phone playing home games or something. I was like, I will not watch this movie. I refuse. I'm going to save it because at some point someone's going to collar me and make me watch it for a podcast. I just know it. So I'll just hold off until that moment.
I think we now know what the 50th
50th
member.
Crusaders Club members.
You're not even seeing Last Crusade?
No.
Oh, wow.
I'm almost jealous that he'll get to take this adventure.
Yeah.
You know?
I am too, really. Honestly, I am.
Pretty cool. All right, guys, it's time for Big Fanfare. It's time to go to the number 1 movie as voted on by our listeners, our friends online. Jason's already typing his answer because he knows what it is.
Can I send the answer now? I'll tell you what, I'll send the answer now.
Go ahead. Jason's going to send the answer for you. Even play it.
I will send the answer now.
And I'll send Jason's answer in as my answer.
Okay.
I sent it for number 2 because I thought it was going to be an upset and it was going to make Jason rant about it.
Do you want me to tell you who I'm going to call?
You can just shut up because you other people have to vote still. Let's listen to this mystery one that Jason's already sent the answer in, and he's correct.
When someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
All right. Looks like Jason was the only one correct. Oh, wait. There's Del. Yes. Okay. I see Delvin's. And Pat somehow got it wrong. No, I'm kidding. Everybody got it right. Everybody got it right. I'm bringing it home because it's one of my favorite movies. I know y'all are going to call shenanigans, but I swear. By the way, I probably should have mentioned this. The difference in the numbers between 4, 3, 2, and 1 were all 1 point. So like number 4, the number 3 had 1 more point than 4. Number 2 had 1 more point than 3, and Ghostbusters wins the number 1 spot on our movies of the 80s countdown by 1 point over Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I wonder if age has anything to do with it, because I think Empire and Raiders are like early 80s, like
they are,
and Ghostbusters is like 84, right? So. So maybe it just gets more.
Yeah, looking at the movies that we had, now that you mentioned that, I want to say Friday the 13th is the oldest one because I think it was 80. I think it was right at 1980.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that is the list. Ghostbusters, I'll run my mouth about it. Delvin, run your mouth about Ghostbusters while I prepare this wrap up.
I know that you, probably more than anyone on the panel, is the hugest Ghostbusters fan. Like, I've heard you rant and rave about it the most, but I understand the appeal of it. This is another movie that I've seen, those bits and pieces of. It coming out in the 80s like it did, absolutely original, for one. It had a mixed cast, and it was also awesome how, they incorporated Winston in. And of course, we got to see him a couple years ago at Dragon Con, right? And Ernie Hudson, bro didn't age. Bro got about to 45 and it's like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, really.
Him and Tom Cruise are just there exchanging recipes.
You put the unicorn blood in this, and
man, my man did not age. I don't know if he got some of that root that Black Panther got a hold of or something, but like, good for Ernie and good for the movie. Like, did y'all see The Frozen Empire?
I have not seen any of the newer movies at all.
It looked really good, and it brought back the Ghostbusters. So I was surprised that y'all weren't like especially you, Jared, that you weren't like.
I will more than likely get to it, but yeah, everything I've heard is like it's good, it's decent.
Yeah.
So I can go for good and decent these days, but I'm certain I'll get around to it at some point. But yeah, man, Ghostbusters. Everybody loves Ghostbusters, you know. And you know what? Before we move on, I'll give you guys a minute to talk about it. Anything that kind of shocked you that didn't appear on the list in the top 20, and I'm going to toss one out and buy you guys a little time in case you want to weigh in, but I was a little surprised. Beverly Hills Cop didn't make the top 20.
Yeah,
ooh, that's a good one.
Terminator.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
And let's see, Coming to America, since we're talking about Eddie Murphy. Like, Coming to America, that is an 80s classic.
48 hours.
Spaceballs.
The last time we saw Ghostbusters, or I saw Ghostbusters, was in the drive-in with you, Jared.
That's right. Jason, I watched the drive-in.
They was going to the drive-in. I remember Johanna and I were like, "Hey, Jared, let's go to the drive-in." He's like, "I don't want to go to the drive-in." They're like, "They're playing Ghostbusters," and he was like, "Let's get in the car."
Well, folks, how did you folks at home do? Because I don't know how well I kept up with the math. I may be a little off here, but it looks to me like Jason is our champion with 18 correct movies.
Well played.
Look at the brains on the Auburn boy.
And Pat came in at 15 and a half.
And half, yes.
For Star Trek faux pas. I think it's pronounced Fox Pass. I'm not sure. And Delvin, you came in with a solid 13 out of 20. I would have pegged you to have more like 7. I'm calling this a win.
It's close to half. It's almost half.
That was the only one who got the Transformers one too.
Yeah, he was. He lit up like a beacon when that Transformers one came on, man.
Oh man, he did. He lit up like the spark.
Oh wait. All right, guys. I think the only thing left to do now is to count it down until midnight. So 10,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
Happy Oh my goodness, Happy New Year, everybody, from the LBC. Thanks for being with us for another year. Thanks for doing another countdown. Again, I would love to hear from you on the social medias at Longbox Crusade, X, Facebook, Instagram. You know the deal. Let us know how you did on this countdown. Let us know how mad you were that Terminator didn't make it in the top 20. And I'm going to pass it around, let everybody have their New Year's thing, and we'll just say goodbye as this awesome music plays us out. Go ahead, Bill.
Absolutely grateful to have anyone listening. As listeners and friends, thank you so much. You are the reason that we come on and do this.
Absolutely. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. It's been a great year. Thanks for supporting us, and we're looking forward to seeing you in 2025.
All right. Yes, I agree with everybody. It has been a super special year here at the LBC. We appreciate all the love and support that you give us. And speaking about love, just remember, go ahead. You got so much of it. Give it out because it's free. Not like the 80s movies where you can't buy that love. You can't buy me love. You just got to give it out for free.
Took a walk for that one. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, guys. We'll see you in 2025.